It's that time of year when it's important to connect. Connect with family, connect to our community, and connect with nature. The holidays bring out a special spirit in people, and it's an important time of year when we can make a difference. I'm going to go out and chat to some people about life here in the Sea to Sky and how we can better connect to what's important on today's Where You Live. First up, let's talk about connecting with our community. So this time of year is all about the season of giving, but it can be a particularly hard time of year for a lot of people around town. But luckily we have in Whistler, the Whistler Community Services Society, or the WCSS, and they provide a lot of programs that can get out there and really help those in need. So I'm here with the program director from WCSS, Jackie Dickinson. Thanks for joining me today, Jackie.
Thank you.
So I think a big thing about this time of year that really comes to mind is the food bank. So what do you guys have going on with the food bank right now?
Yeah, this time of year we are encouraging the reverse advent calendar, which is an opportunity for families to give and talk about the giving season on a daily basis in smaller, big ways. So instead of opening that little box and talking about what you receive, it also provides the opportunity on a daily basis to talk about what you can offer to those during this time of year. So we're calling it the reverse advent calendar.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
I love it. Mm-hmm. And people can start that on the 1st, or?
They can be those go-getters. If they don't find out about it or don't bring it into their family routine until later in the month, there's still plenty of time to integrate that as they're leading up to Christmas. So it could be putting in a box or bin a can of green beans or one of our much needed items for the food bank, or it could be talking about a gift or an act that they can be providing in their community. So it can start at any point in December leading up to the 25th.
Okay. And what other things does the food bank have in place for raising donations?
Yeah, so organizations and businesses can do a lot of different things. They can generate their own types of what we like to call third-party fundraisers, and that's an opportunity for organizations to get together and say, okay, what are we going to do that's going to help people that are less fortunate? And we do provide those businesses and families a much-needed food item list. They can generate that food and then bring it into the food bank on one of our open days, Monday to Friday.
Okay. And do you find that this time of year, it seems like that busier time of year for the food bank, but do you have these really big highs and lows when it comes to the food bank, or are you just busy all year round?
I think we're busy all year round. I think this whole community and the whole corridor is experiencing growth, and our food bank program isn't any different. Obviously, this time of year, we're actually lower in our financial donations than we were last year. So we're anticipating and hoping that we'll be on people's Christmas list going into December.
And do you find with the climate here in Whistler, the cost of living rising, the housing crisis, is that really affecting the food bank and the donations?
I think these are issues that are, something to be concerned about with food banks across the province and provincial issues. I think this community is not unlike any place else. So those could be factors. The primary reason we have people come into our food bank is really due to chronic illness and injury. Some people think that's really indicative of the Whistler community. It's not. And so that's sometimes the factors why we see people coming through our doors, and something important we want people to know.
What else can people do?
Yeah, I think we focus around this time of year around doing a lot of big things, or that it must be one big day we're going to focus all our energy on giving. And what we really want to promote during this time of year is the opportunity to do small things throughout the entire 12-month period. It can be as simple as going to Nesters and donating your points to the food bank. And that actually is a really meaningful way to give back, because that allows us to extend our purchasing power when we're filling our shelves. So those are all the small and big things we hope people consider 12 months of the year.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking a lot about the food bank today, but it being the season of giving, and it can be a difficult time for a lot of people, like I said. What other programs do you have here at WCSS that can really benefit the community and maybe people having a hard time around the holidays?
Yeah, Whistler Community Services, we actually have 26 different programs, and some are more well-known than others. Our food bank is definitely one of our core programs, but another one of our core programs is our outreach team. It's a 3-person team that meets people where they're at during all of life's challenges, and this is a program we like to promote, as you suggested, suggest during the winter months and going into the holiday season as a resource for people. And we're always looking at ways that people can make donations so we can maintain this program throughout our year. It's one of our key programs that we've had the longest and something we're really, really proud of.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for chatting with me today. Appreciate that. Our Sea to Sky community, it's pretty amazing, but remember, you can always reach out for help if you need it. Of course, the food bank is always open for donations, or if you'd like to contribute in another way, you could always volunteer. Visit mywcss.org to find out how you can connect with our community and make a difference. As we roll through the holidays and well into winter, it's important to find a life-work balance, and it's equally as important to make some time to spend with family. As families continue to grow here in the Sea to Sky, our community is really great at throwing lots of events that families can go to together. Pemberton pulls out all the stops with Winterfest each year, and I'm here with Carly Sindrick from Pemberton, and she's going to tell me a bit more about Winterfest, what's happening with that, and other fun activities that families can do in Pemberton. Welcome, Carly.
Thank you very much for having me. Yes. So Winterfest, usually Winterfest takes place on 1 Mile Lake, and we bust out all the ice activities like curling and skating and hockey. But because the conditions of the weather and ice aren't always perfect, we've had to change things up over the years. So this year, we're really changing things up, and we're going to be hosting a New Year's Eve celebration. It's going to be a free, family-friendly event that will take place from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Pemberton Community Center. And it will offer a wide variety of activities from face painting and crafts to an indoor movie at the Pemberton Library, special guest appearances from Cinderella and Batman. Get ready for it, kids.
Nice.
And fireworks and a family dance party, and it's going to be lots of fun. So we invite all residents and visitors alike of the Sea to Sky corridor to come and join us.
Wow, that sounds like a blast.
I know, I can't wait.
And what other things do you have up in Pemberton going on for events that families can go to?
Yeah, so if the ice and the weather conditions are just right, we're hoping to bring back our pop-up Winterfest, if you will, to 1 Mile Lake, where we'll host the curling and the ice skating and some hockey and much, much more. So we're encouraging everyone to visit our website, pembertonwinterfest.com, for event details and just to find out sort of how to Winterfest 2018 this year.
And it's all free, if I'm correct.
It's all free.
Yes,
Yep, it's free and
amazing.
fun, which is amazing. So that, you know, it's really an inclusive event for everyone.
Wonderful. So you've got kids. What are you going to be doing for fun with your kids this season?
Well, our season sort of kicks off with finding our family Christmas tree, if you will. So we pile into the van with our Christmas tree permit in hand, and we go into the backcountry and we source our tree. And from there, you know, we roll through the holiday season. We're going to be going down to Vancouver this year to spend time with my mom, and we'll be doing the holiday thing down there. So I'm really excited to see what other activities and events we can participate in Vancouver. And then we'll come home and we'll just, you know, get outdoors and get outside and make a snowman and, you know, go tobogganing and participate in some of the other fun events that are going to be happening in and around Pemberton in January and February.
So lots of fun stuff happening in Pemberton this season. What else is going on?
Well, first of all, we've got Tourism Pemberton and Pemberton Fish Finder partnering up for some free fishing seminars in January, which should be lots of fun, open to kids of all ages and adults as well. There's going to be a Much Music dance party that is going to be focused primarily on youth. Again, that's going to be taking place in January, and that's going to be sort of part of Winterfest as well. We're working with the Pemberton Community Center Youth Center. And then in February, we kick things off with the Spud Valley Loppet, which is a fun cross-country race for kids, youth, and adults put on by the Spud Valley Nordic, so I would recommend checking that out. The Lions Club is hosting a Dine and Dance in the Dark event at the Legion, which is primarily to raise money and awareness for blind or partially sighted people. So that's going to be another wonderful event. And then the Pemberton Snowmobile Club is having their annual fundraiser at Big Sky. And so there promises to be lots of fun snowy activities taking place then as well.
So much going on.
So much going
That's
on.
so fun.
How do you pick? I know.
Are you going to attend anything in Whistler or Squamish? Anything that families down in those areas can look forward to?
Absolutely. We always participate in the Whistler Holiday Experience that takes place at the Conference Center. It's another great, free, family-friendly event. Bouncy castles, mini golf, balls, games, everything. It's lots of fun. And I know that down in Squamish they're offering the Polar Express event, which is another great one for families to attend to. So lots going on.
Yeah, it's such a fun time of year to be out with kids and family. And So that brings me to my next question. If you had to give any advice to the folks out there on how best to connect with family over the holidays, or your advice, your tips for that, what would it be?
Well, I have a couple. I think first of all, if we can sort of reconnect face to face. So really unplug, turn off our computers, turn off our phones, and just socialize as a family, you know, and find that clean, wholesome fun that we grew up with. And, you know, whether that's getting outside, like I mentioned, building a snowman, or going for an adventure walk, or, you know, meeting up with other friends and family and just, you know, creating your own celebration throughout the winter season. I think that's really important. Also, I find that a lot of families sort of retreat and hibernate during the winter season, and we don't see a lot of each other, primarily because it's cold and it's blustery and all the rest of it. So I encourage you to, you know, get out there in your communities. If there is a free activity or a free event taking place, to participate and go out and socialize and reconnect with people that you may have not seen for a couple weeks. So that's what we plan to do, and it's always good to see, you know, people out and about and enjoy the winter as it is.
Thanks so much for the helpful tips, Carly. That was fantastic. And we're very much looking forward to Winterfest and all of those fun family activities happening up in Pemberton this season. Stay tuned. We've got more ideas of how you can connect with where you live after the break. People connect to lots of different things in lots of different ways. And here in the Sea to Sky, we're surrounded by such natural beauty, it only makes sense that we feel that connection with nature. It's important to nurture that connection. And luckily, right here in Squamish, at this time of year, every year, the eagles come out to play. I'm here with Matthew Clarkson, who's the operations manager at Canadian Outback Rafting. And Matthew, he's a nature lover and of course gets to see the eagles each year when you're out on your raft. So I'm wondering if you can tell me a bit more about your experience with the eagles. When did you first see the eagles?
First time was back in 2006 when I first got to Canada. Came over rafting, and they were all around the rivers that we were working on. So with them being such beautiful birds around, it's hard to miss them. And then luckily I've been working on rivers where they hang out quite a lot, and then this winter's a perfect chance to see them really up close, and it's amazing to see them down here in the winter.
Yeah. And what brings the eagles to Squamish each year?
It's the food. Most of them live Alaska, Alberta, all up the west coast of Canada. But it gets very cold, and so the lakes and the rivers freeze, and therefore there's no food for them. So they come down here to Squamish, where there's lots of open water, huge big trees for them to nest in, and lots of salmon for them to feed on all winter long.
How many eagles are there, do you think, at a time when I know they do the eagle count each year,
Yeah.
but what kind of numbers are we
It
talking
varies
about?
from about 1,000 to the largest count was 94, and that was 3,780 something. It was quite a few
Wow.
eagles. Yeah, that was a world record.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What's the best way to see the eagles?
Well, it varies. There's a dike that runs along the river there where you can wander along the side, and they nest on the opposite side of the river. There's a group called Eagle Watch that kind of hang out there on weekends with volunteers to give information about the eagles, so that's a good way to do it. And we run rafting trips, so if you want to get a little bit more intimate with them, we spend about an hour on the river floating by hundreds and hundreds of them, and it's a really good chance to take pictures and to be nice and close to them.
And what is it about the eagles that make you just feel that connection with nature? And I'm sure when you're on your floats and people are getting so close, they must get really excited. So what is it about the eagles?
Yeah, I don't know, they kind of have a bit of an aura about them. They're majestic, and they kind of, I don't know, they have a presence, and a lot of people, when you see the people reacting to seeing the eagles, that's amazing too, because it's quite unique. I mean, you only find them in North America, nowhere else in the world, so they're quite special in that way too.
So whether you're on the boat or if you're walking on the dike there, like, you can get pretty close to them?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can get very, very close. Be careful if you've got small dogs.
Yeah, fair enough. So for you personally, what other ways do you connect with nature? Or what else do you recommend for people to really get out there and connect with nature in this area?
Well, anything. Just being outdoors. Go for a hike, go for a mountain bike. Skiing's a great way to see it. There's the gondola just close by that takes you up to the tops of the mountains, so you get amazing views of the Howe Sound and the whole Sea to Sky. There's loads of ways to get out. Rafting in the summertime, come and see the Eelhoe River, and it's beautiful nature up there.
We're pretty lucky here.
I think. That's why I moved here from where I was from, because it's a special place. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Matthew. Appreciate
welcome.
that. A little info on the eagles. And
Yeah.
we're going to head down to the dike and actually go do some eagle watching ourselves later today.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. You know, it is really important to get out there and connect with nature, no matter how you do it, whether it's headed up the mountain or out into the woods or down by the river here in Squamish to watch the eagles. We hope that you can get out there and connect to what's important to you this holiday season. If you'd like to see more videos like these, you can head over to our Facebook or our YouTube pages. From myself and the entire family here at Shaw, happy holidays.